Hey guys, welcome to the Canada Puck Podcast, your weekly recap of what's going on in the world of sports, specifically hockey, and specifically in Canada. I'm your co-host, Mick. You can find me on Twitter at ProfitMick, and I'm joined every episode by my lovely and talented co-host,
Grant, on Twitter at Fourth Line Sports. I don't know what I'm supposed to do on that one. Am I supposed to dig up to meet you?
Was that what I was digging like a puppy dog? That's okay, I get it now. I'm like, oh, hello, puppy.
Hey, Nick, I just want to see you.
That's it. Dig through the center of the earth.
Oh, man, don't even get me started on center of the earth stuff, Mick. I went down a deep conspiracy theory hole this week.
Oh, that's fun. I was distracted, but now I'm in. Tell me about these conspiracies.
You've never heard the Hollow Earth conspiracy theory?
Well, I've heard about all that, and like flat Earth and Hollow Earth and lizard people, and like it's kind of fun.
I don't know. So basically, where I'm at is I bought myself a nice shovel this week. I'm gonna start hollowing out backyard until I meet all these advanced civilizations in the middle of the earth. One of two things is gonna happen. They're either gonna eat me alive, or I'm going to be suspended in the middle of gravity where nothing can harm me, and I'll just be floating there for eternity. So
That's smart. I like that. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see if it pays off.
Nice. Yo. Something conspiracy. Oh, I heard one that the internet doesn't exist. It's all just an algorithm. So like most of the internet that you interact with, so people on Twitter or if you have like friends online, it's just the internet creating people for you. So all those people out there that you think you're interacting with, you see, they're not really things. They're just like the internet has just created them.
Man, you're like the only person I interact with. So does that mean
Have you ever seen me in real life?
I drank beers with a hologram? Oh God, this is the Matrix.
It's
Well,
happening again.
should have taken the red pill. Or no, blue pill. I can't remember. Which one did he take? Do you remember?
I heard there's a rumor that he didn't actually have a choice. Both pills would have taken him to the Matrix.
Oh, the old mind fuck. Hey.
Oh no, I guess that doesn't make sense because like he offered him a choice. Never mind, that's dumb. Let's move on.
Well, Matrix, whatever, I don't know, what is it, Matrix 4 now? Matrix 5? Anyway, there's a new Matrix coming out at Christmas time.
Yeah, I saw that. I feel like I watched the first one. Maybe missed the next two, so maybe I should catch up on the Matrix before Christmas.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
All right.
And by that I mean I haven't seen the other two. I just watched the first one. So
Nice. All right, so that is some lovely banter you can hear between the conspiracy theorists in the room. If it's your first show, welcome. We do headlines. We're going to look at kind of just catch up to date last week that was with our Canadian lovely teams. Probably going to go bottom up, so we'll make fun of the teams that suck first. I feel like these standings look really weird this morning. All right, let's just scroll down to the bottom. And we have some gambling advice, some fantasy advice, maybe do some cards, look at some girls. Stuff bros like to do, you know.
just a bro thing.
Just hanging
like,
out.
Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. It's just cool stuff for hanging out. So with that, headlines. If we look at the standings, we have to talk about the Montreal Canadiens. 31st in the league, only better than the lowly Coyotes. Although the Coyotes do have 2 games in hand, and they're only 3 points back. So if the Coyotes go on a 2-game win streak, Montreal, you're back in the basement.
All right, I know I'm going to ask a question here. Was it worth it? Was it worth it to go on such a run that the universe has to balance you out and put you dead last in the league this year?
Montreal, we're waiting. But essentially, like that's what I feel like is happening too. Is they were so one-sided. The tables kind of tilted so far into the favor of like their cup run was so immaculate that they're now suffering these consequences, right? And they will be for some time or something like that. So, Grant, I agree with you. Montreal fans, was it worth it?
It was, yeah. This is one of those philosophical debates that will rage on because they didn't even win. But like some of their metrics from last year, like 90, I think it was like a 91.3 penalty kill percentage. Their power play was also operating efficiently. Now all of a sudden you're seeing those numbers correct real quick, and they appear to be doing nothing. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, Montreal fans were cheering for Fleury at the end of the game against Chicago this week when he was posting a shutout for his 500th career win. Hence why I put a Blackhawk jersey on.
I was starting to cue into these as I wonder what kind of Blackhawks trivia mix is going to throw my way at the end of this. But it's more homage to Fleury. I get it.
That's it. And I mean, it is a Campbell jersey, so it's kind of thematically goes with the show a little bit too, right? So should have put on a black hat instead of a red hat. Damn, what's the name of that one? Anyways, on to 30th. We get to the Ottawa Senators.
1 point up. You know what? I have not paid attention to the Ottawa Senators over the last little week, so I don't even know if I can contribute anything to this segment. I think it's a morning contest with the Lightning today. That's about all I know.
I don't know. I thought we had fun on this show. That's what I thought we were doing. I thought this was supposed to be a light affair. We told some jokes. Everyone had fun. Our friend of the show, Brady Kachuk, we talked about putting parts of his body in our mouth. And then he went and he fisted me so hard last week with that overtime goal against the Tampa Bay Lightning that I have been bitter towards one of my... I thought we were best friends. I called him Frank the Tank. He did this when he scored goals. What the hell, Brady? What the hell?
Oh, man.
I haven't paid attention to him since that because, we'll talk about it later in the show, but essentially he wrecked my real life bets, my bets on the show. He wrecked my FanDuel lineup. So single-handedly, that overtime goal, awful. It was an awful 27 seconds in my life. Just realizing what had just happened. So what the hell, Brady?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to talk about this a little later and also dig into your emotions. I like mixed emotions when they come out are fun to watch.
Yeah.
You're getting a small taste now.
Oh, that's just... I mean, I also kind of feel like that Johansson goalie that Colorado have really sucks. That was my conclusion from the week last week. So anyways, let's move on to 24th. We get the Vancouver Canucks. They did it. They listened to you.
How long? Well, yeah, I was saying it for quite a while. I may have alluded to it or mentioned it last season, but basically every week of this podcast or of this season in this podcast, I have ranted about how the Vancouver Canucks needed to move on from Travis Green, and it paid off. 3 straight wins, and they've done so. I didn't take a close look at the game score against the Jets, but they've done so with some tremendous defensive efforts. And those A-plus players or those A players that Mick thinks are C players, guess what? They look more like B++ players under the Boudreau system. So, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they ride this momentum a little further, and I think the change in the locker room is kind of going to carry them a long way. They had an emotional type win against Winnipeg. Was that last night? Mm-hmm. Well, the 4-3 shootout win. So, things are good in Vancouver now, and I think that they're going to enjoy a little bit of success under Bruce Boudreau. He's got a good track record. Actually, you want to know what's fucking crazy about Bruce Boudreau? I did a dive on him when they hired him. He's never had a losing regular season. Every season he's coached in the NHL, I can't even remember, maybe there's 16 of them, he's finished above 500, and normally substantially above 500. And not only that, but his teams, as far back as I could go, good track record analytically. So I think we're going to see good things in Vancouver.
I'm pulling it up right here. What the heck is going on? Oh, I see. We should probably look at coaching, not playing. Makes a lot more sense. Yeah, look at that, 30. So this is the column here. If I draw your attention to this, you will notice that this number here is always greater than this number beside it, which means he has more wins than losses. Interesting.
And his points percentage, yeah, if you hover over even further, it'll say above 500.
Yeah.
His closest, I think, was last season in Minnesota. I think he had a 503 or 513.
Oh, 506. That's close.
506.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Huh. Cool.
Yeah, Bruce Boudreau, man, who knew? But of course, even if they get to Vancouver, or even if Vancouver gets to the postseason, Bruce Boudreau is going to poop himself again. He's made it past the second round only once, and he's only made it to the second round twice, I believe. So, enjoy the regular season, Vancouver. You've earned the regular season. You haven't earned the postseason, not yet, at least.
I still think it's a little bit of a climb. If I scroll up here and we look at the wild card in the Pacific, I'm guessing you're probably not close. So what's Edmonton at here? 32. Vancouver, you're at 24. A lot closer than I thought. All right, I withdraw my comments. I'm sorry. I realized that it's still early and everyone sucks. I forgot.
If you would have said that at the start of the week when they had 18 points, guess what? That's crazy what a 3-game winning streak will do.
That's it. Those double points get you there. So we got the 15th in the league. We get to the Winnipeg Jets. Anything exciting happen in Winnipeg this week?
I wasn't paying attention to headlines, but I was paying attention to their analytics, and I was looking at a few things. They've been good. Like in Seattle, I was expecting maybe a little bit of a letdown. First night of a back-to-back, like you come out flat, save your energy a little bit, but no, they actually looked even better in Seattle. And then last night, Vancouver stole a point, getting 3 points in on a back-to-back, I would say is noteworthy. So, Winnipeg, good for you.
Good job. Yeah, I know they had a bit of a tough affair. Was it Sunday against the Leafs there? It was one of those days. I mean, it was a blacked out game. I didn't watch it, but Logan Stanley took a run at someone, a Leaf. Jason Spezza retaliated. They won the game. I think they lost their next 2 games, and I believe when quoted, who's their coach? Glasses man.
Paul Maurice.
Paul Maurice, Glasses man himself. He's like, you're right. We've lost the last 2 games. I think the guys are still just on a high though from beating the Leafs the other night. So everything is Leaf centric. It's awful. Just get over it. Get over yourself, guys. Come on.
Yeah, fuck you, Paul Maurice. Get that shit off my TV.
We don't need that. We don't need that whatsoever. So, middle of the league, middle of the pack, above Vegas. So maybe that's a good thing to brag about, but.
Well, for now. But anyways, story for a different podcast.
Did we scroll up, though? We have to get to 12th. What a fall from grace is happening here in the great white north of Alberta, in the little town of Edmonton. Ice storms, blizzards, and falling. They were first in the league, and you've slowly watched them decline. What the hell is going on with the Edmonton Oilers?
Well, it's really just... I mentioned this again from the get-go. Their scoring relies so heavily on power play goals, and their 5-on-5 metrics are actually kind of piss poor. I think they're even below 500. Let me just pull it up here. And by that, I mean below 50% in expected goals for percentage at 5-on-5. And I think what we're seeing is just a correction from that early season high. One, scoring is going to be an issue when you're getting 30% of your goals on the power play, or when you're operating at a 30% efficiency on the power play. That's going to come down. 2, you're operating above efficiency at 5-on-5, scoring way more than you should. That's going to come down. And lastly, goaltending. Goaltending was above average with when Koskinen was riding that hot streak after Smith got injured. We're starting to see the real Mikko Koskinen, and that's impacting the Oilers' chances as well. So let's just see here. Expected goals for percentage. They just hovered above 50%. They're 50.09%. So maybe they're starting to trend in the right direction. I knew that this correction phase was coming. I don't know when it's going to end. I generally like to see one of the markers that I look for is like the betting market starts to overreact. I don't even think that we're seeing that yet because Carolina's underdogs, if not plus money, very close to plus money underdogs against the Oilers tonight. Carolina, superior team. Oilers in the midst of a correction phase. It doesn't sound to me like the betting markets adjust accordingly yet, but I think once teams start or bettors start to say, all right, well, let's get on the other side of the Oilers games. I don't know why the universe just likes to balance itself out that way, but when the betting market starts to overreact, that's generally a sign, all right, well, the correction phase is coming to an end.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I actually don't know what I'm doing anymore. I was thinking about this. Once in a while, I check sports scores. I watch highlights, but during the week, I'm just busy. I don't know if you feel the same way, but trying to keep up to date with all these hockey stuff, with football going on, and it's tough.
The tough life of being an avid sports watcher. How am I supposed to watch all these sports while working 9 to 5? And you know what the answer is, Mick? We just have to stop working 9 to 5. I've
Yeah.
thought about this a long time. It's just a matter of how do we get these stars to align correctly so that we can just stay at home and watch sports all day.
I mean, I feel like you don't want to make it a job because then it feels like you're like working all the time. You don't want that, right? Like, but it's kind of a fun job. I don't know. It's tough. Sorry, Edmonton, I haven't paid attention to you, but maybe I'll pay attention to you later tonight because I'll put money on you or something. I don't know. See what happens. We have to scroll up to 8th. Once the top of the league, they were powerhouses. The Calgary Flames. They were burning everything down. They're at 8th now. What the hell, Calgary? What happened?
Yeah, so they actually haven't even, like, what you're seeing in Edmonton over the past week is, like, in the thick of a correction phase. Calgary's kind of adjusted minorly, but their road metrics are way out of whack, and we're going to start to see them, like, prolonged suffering in Flames land, kind of like what we saw with Edmonton. I haven't looked at their schedule enough to know. Maybe I'll take a quick peek right now. But when they get on next big road trip, I bet you they're going to come back winless. I know they're at home tonight. Let's see here. 2 games. You know what? They're kind of sheltered for more road games this month. Only 3 road games the rest of the way. Monday, Tuesday, and then end of the month in Seattle. So early New Year. So end of this month, early New Year, I'm calling it. Calgary's going to be on a long drought.
Yeah, they got Boston at home. They go to Chicago. They go to Nashville. They get Toronto. Then Columbus. All right. Interesting. Yeah, I kind of feel like, again, corrections happen. If we're in that correction phase of the season, it's kind of the drulls. Everyone's feeling it a little bit, the Christmas. I imagine that we start seeing the Flames come down to earth just a little bit. And that's very anticlimactic. I scrolled up 1 spot. We get to the Toronto Maple Leafs at 6th. I'm not first anymore. Come on, guys. What happened?
I don't think it's anything that Toronto's done wrong because they still have, like, outstanding advanced metrics. But when you look at the teams ahead of them, there's teams like, I looked at Florida, was it yesterday, maybe the day before? You wouldn't believe how good Florida is this year. Like, it's kind of hard to believe how effective they've been. And I think that's impacting Toronto in the sense that, well, how are they supposed to, they have to basically win every game to keep pace with Florida. But Florida and Toronto are basically 1-2 in all of the advanced categories. So, again, it's not lack of trying from Toronto because they're still getting good outcomes. Their offense is still flying. They're still putting forward strong defensive efforts. It's just there's a team that's doing it better than them right now.
And like, I mean, you said that you're going to see some type of regression. We figured we'd be having some type of like down and out. Actually, our show last week, we were really, really spot on. A couple of things that you mentioned. I know you noted that the Maple Leafs will be losing, but it wouldn't be their fault, right? And if you look at that Saturday night affair against the Wild last week, the Wild had like pucks go off defensemen. Like I think Justin Hull, puck went off his stick into the net. It was kind of these little squeakers. It was kind of more of a physical affair, and really it was just like poor luck, poor bounces. Cost them that game. I think the same thing happened the next night in Winnipeg, right? Emotions kind of got carried away, ended up losing. But again, nothing that they did wrong. It was just, you can't win every game, right? And you're going to have those nights where you're just not clicking, and that's it, right? So we probably see some type of correction, and they're going to be a top team, right? I think even they, like Keefe said that earlier this week, is the difference between them and the Tampa Bay Lightning is Tampa Bay kind of stopped making little defensive mistakes a couple years ago, won a Stanley Cup. So he kind of figures that's where the Leafs are. They're at that top level. They just need to kind of queue up a couple of things, work better as kind of a team, and sky's the limit. So.
Yeah, I didn't even know they lost 3 or 4, but you're right. I did say those things last week. Good for me.
Oh, I mean, I was like dialed in between that. I mean, we'll get into it in our next segment, but man, we were close. Like, if you would have listened to me and Grant last week and bet a lot of overtimes, you would have been a happy camper, but we didn't really quite follow our advice that much. So that kind of wraps up headlines. Any other stories jumping out around the league? Nothing really. There wasn't any weird trades or anything like that. Noteworthy stuff.
It's probably not even worth mentioning, but how does an NHL team not pay their bills? Like, Coyotes, we owe you. You owe us $1.3 million in taxes. How? What the fuck are you doing?
I like. Are they just playing? I don't understand. I don't understand that Arizona situation. It has made sense for years, right? Like, it doesn't make money. It's not profitable. The rest of the league supports them. The city of like Glendale doesn't want them there. They're like, get out of our arena. We're not going to build you a new one. Get the frick out of here. But Gary Bettman, for some reason, decides they suck. No one wants to play there. Their team is just miserable. They have they don't have first round picks because they do illegal things during the combine.
What you're describing is like appropriate considering you're wearing a Wayne Campbell jersey. What was his girlfriend's name at the start of the movie?
Oh my god. So he dates Cassandra, and his other girlfriend is Laura?
Whatever it is, what you're describing Gary Bettman is as this girlfriend. It's like, I did get rid of you 3 months ago, but he's still there clinging on to whatever it is that Arizona has to offer.
Stacy. You know what? I Googled it, and like you can see I said it before that, but as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh, it's definitely Stacy. So, as Lara Flynn Boyle as Stacy. Hi, Wayne.
Why would I need a gun rack? I do not have one gun, let alone many guns, to necessitate a gun rack. Probably best line in the movie.
Yes. Yeah. That's nice. Oh, Laura Flynn Boyle. What can't you do?
Hang on. Is that the same one that's in Ozarks? No. Never mind. Wrong lady.
I don't know what Laura Flynn Boyle is in, to be perfectly honest with you. Unsure.
Men in Black 2, according to a quick Google search.
Huh. Sure.
I'm definitely going to start the podcast with, "Hi, Nick," from now on.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Only our true listeners will get it.
Yeah.
Anyways.
All right, cool. So that wraps up headlines for the week. My Dirty Fantasy. Like we talked about it. I think I didn't win anything last week. So what we do is we offer you FanDuel advice. Sometimes we're good. Sometimes we're bad. Right now.
Have you seen one of these viral videos? I think it's a soccer one. Football for our European listeners. Sometimes it may be good. Sometimes it may be shit. Have you seen that one?
No.
I'll find it and I'll send it to you.
All right.
But anyways, it applies to our FanDuel stuff because this is a learning process for us.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know how you did last week. I'll just pull the Band-Aid off for myself. I fell short. Bottom to get my money back with 138 points. I had 114, a difference of 14 points? 14 stinking points. If you look at my lineup, Mika's a bit jad. Matthew Barzell had a good affair. Taylor Hall did really nothing. Devin Taves had me 33 points. Ovechkin on the back end. Connor Brown were fine. Really, this Jonas Johansson kid from Colorado, -7 points. Come on. Like, I don't even know with a win in overtime if I would have got positive, but let's say I would have got 7 points. That's my swing right there. So that's my money. That was where I screwed up, was taking this just shill of a goalie. How many points did Toronto score against that kid? Like 4 or 5 or something. So we gave up 11 goals in 2 games to the Senators and Maple Leafs.
I'm not one for one-upsmanship, but I'm going to beat you here, Mick. I took a goalie who finished with -8.8.
Son of a gun.
I won something at least.
Yeah.
Goddamn Malcolm Subban. I don't know why. 0.3% drafted. I should have known. I don't know why I went out on a limb like I did. I knew it was premised on faulty logic. I even said so on the podcast, but he was easily my worst. Danny DeKeyser, 0 points. I can't remember. I think Hronik was about the same price as him, and Hronik went off, or at least had a few points. Also let down a little bit by Lucas Raymond, only 4.8 points. Marcus Foligno did all right. Ryan Hartman really didn't do anything, 18.4, 3.2 respectively. Trouba, respectable, 12.2. And Nathan McKinn was basically my only sure shot, 30.9. But it was a high-scoring week. Tournament I entered, first place got 251, and then basically to crack the top 10, everybody had 225 plus. So We'll see. We'll see if we can correct that here today. Mick, you got your lineup ready?
I do. Upcoming, assuming it's still going. I feel more confident about my lineup today. Because I got my main back. I got my strategy back. It's really simple. You just throw Connor McDavid in a lineup. Boom. Win profit. So obviously Connor McDavid at $9,600. He's a lock. His buddy Jesse Pajjarvi at $5,300. It's the easiest 1-2 combo. It averages what? About $7,000 a player. You're getting above average for those two guys right there. I went with Evgeny Kuznetsov because he's a little bit cheaper. Plays on the top line against the Buffalo Sabres. I think they're probably going to score some goals. I don't think the Sabres are very good. So at $7,100, I liked him. I went with Michael Bunting. I wanted a little touch. I needed a peck of some Toronto Maple Leafs, but I didn't want to spend for the big guy. So $5,600 on the wing. Michael Bunting fit in there. I went really cheap, which is names that I recognized on defense. Tyson Barrie at $5,800. Noah Hannafin at $3,900. Frederick Anderson at $7,200. I thought that was pretty good value for one of the better goalies in the league against the Oilers. Maybe it's a low-scoring affair. Maybe there's some defense. I don't know. It's $7,200 there. And then I went with Andrew Mangiapane, who's like a top 5 goal scorer in the league right now. Lighting it up. Playing the Boston Bruins tonight. $6,300. And finally, Cam Fowler, a defenseman as my utility spot. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know what my other options are, but Cam Fowler was the name that jumped out at me. It was kind of strange. Let's see if maybe Grant, you can talk me out of this Cam Fowler play.
How many points does Cam Fowler have?
I don't think a lot.
How many? And what about salary? Salary is what I intended to ask. What's his salary?
Well, I deleted him and now I can't find it. So that $4,200.
Oh man, yeah, there's way better options than that. And I know that I have firsthand experience knowing that because I took a very bold strategy today. I basically rostered the 3 highest salaried players. That is Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Austin Matthews. And that really forced me to scrape the bottom of the barrel for the rest of my pick. I know that I spoke differently about Edmonton in the headline section, but I do think that before teams start to win, they have to get metrics going in their favor, and I think we're going to start to see that tonight. I don't necessarily think that's going to translate to a win. I actually don't know how I feel. I got no stance on that, but I do think that Carolina's in the middle of a road trip. Edmonton's been kind of insulated at home. I think they had that one trip. It was a one game somewhere, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyways, this is a time for McDavid and Draisaitl to shine. Also think that it's a huge flat spot for Chicago. Fleury obviously coming off that monumental shutout performance to get win number 500, basically in his home province. Mm-hmm. Basically as high as you can get as a goalie. It just feels like he's going to fall flat on his face today. So Matthews, who's been trending upwards, again, one of those things we spoke about on this podcast about him trending upwards a few weeks ago. We've seen that. We're going to continue to see that. I expect that tonight against Chicago at least. On to my other utility spot, Anthony Beauvillier. And this is a guy, Mick, who I would encourage you to look at. $3,900 easily replaces he saves you some money. You might even be able to upgrade it elsewhere. The Islanders have started the first month and a change, almost 6 weeks on the road. They came home. They lost a few games with basically an AHL roster. They came back from their COVID hiatus after, and they've been more competitive. The metrics are starting to work in their favor. Still, we're December fucking 11th, Mick, and they have not won. They have 0 wins at home this season. I suspect that's going to change tonight, and I suspect that the Band-Aid's going to come off in a big way. I think Anthony Beauvillier is a good option. You could probably even find another Islanders winger or forward to put in there at $4,200, but I like what he brings. Wingers, Lawson Krause and Kasperi Kapanen. Arizona, they put forward a reasonable, I would say pretty good effort against the Florida Panthers yesterday. 3-1 loss. They're at home. Philadelphia's been shit. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Philadelphia's just always maybe shit. So they give up a ton of opportunities. Arizona's doesn't have a lot of winnable games on their schedule, but this could be one of them. Lawson Krause, I like what he brings. Similar, Kasperi Kapanen. 4,100. He skates on the line with Crosby. He's going to have some opportunities at home. Anaheim, overachieving somewhat relative to the metrics. But I think that's going to be a high-scoring game because Pittsburgh started Jari last night against the Caps, so I don't even know who the backup is. The backup's starting tonight against Anaheim, who's been playing good hockey. Defensively, I also like a Calgary playing tonight. That's Rasmus Andersson, $4,000. Boston deserves better than what they've got this season, but Calgary's been really good on home ice. I actually might talk. I might have just catalyzed in my brain. This might be a good overtime spot. But Rasmus Andersson, top D-man, plays on power play, should get some points. Mario Ferraro, San Jose, good offensively. Mario Ferraro's kind of basically cut from the same cloth. I think that San Jose, I don't know what happened to Reimer. Reimer hasn't been playing the last few games. I don't know if he's injured, but I like San Jose to get some offense going on home ice. Jake Allen is my goalie. This is your opportunity to laugh at me. I had very little money left, and this is all that I had. Montreal seems to play well on Saturday night. That was kind of my rationale for saying, as opposed to somebody else. We saw them take the Preds to a shootout last week. They had a couple of shootout games earlier in the season. They beat the Preds 6-3 on a Saturday night. So every time I think back to Montreal's good performances, it always circles back to Saturday night. So I'm taking Jake Allen, 68. I'm taking a flyer on him. See what happens. Maybe over. We'll see.
So as we were talking, I did make some changes. I don't know if I got any. I don't know if I actually moved anywhere. So Cam Fowler became Nathan Beauvillier, and Rasmus Andersson replaced Noah Hannafin. And that's it. And I ended up with kind of the same amount of money. So, I don't know if I just made lateral moves. I like Beauvillier step up definitely above Cam Fowler. And maybe Andersson over Hannafin, but...
Watch now, Hannafin's going to have 6 goals.
Yeah, you know what? I'll leave you with Hannafin. You can have that. Can I get... Where's the other guy I wanted?
Hannafin. So I had Andersson. You want Hannafin.
Yeah, I want Hannafin. Can I still get Hannafin? Or did I, somehow...
You should be able to, because you would have saved money on Beauvillier.
Yeah. Rasmus Andersson. Noah Hannafin, $3,900. Yeah, let's leave Hannafin. Okay, that works there. All right. So I'm going to change that back. I will take Hannafin. You can have Andersson.
You know what? I like this dual strategy. We're kind of playing off each other now.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
rather than us always just going down in the same fucking sinking ship. This is good, actually. This is good teamwork, Mick. I don't know if we've done this before.
No. Normally, we lie and we cheat and we steal and we take all those things from each other, right? So there you go. Nice.
We're not. What's his name? Guerrero? What's that wrestler?
Oh, Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero. We're basically the Eddie Guerreros. I don't know how we always somehow incorporate wrestling into our podcast. Maybe it's a sign. I mean, wrestling podcast.
I feel like we watched a lot of wrestling when we lived together a couple times. So, one of those Monday night staples. You got to watch Raw. You got to.
SmackDown you can pass on because that was always the office night.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you had to be tuned into Raw.
100%.
And Umanga.
Oh, Manga. Yeah, there was some good guys. For as dumb as wrestling is, there was some fun stuff. Manga. All right, so now that you know how we're gonna win you some money with FanDuel, and we were doing well for a while, right? We had a couple of good picks, a couple of good lineups. I have a feeling tonight is back. I knew we had won too many in a row. We were like 5 for 6 or something like that. So there had to be a letdown. We had it the last couple of weeks, but we're back. I promise. Let's get into some gambling advice. A little bit of Bettor Advice. We take 100 theoretical dollars every single week. We bet it on games. We win it. You reap the rewards. Unless you're following my advice, and then you're down. I don't know. What we at, show 6 or 7? Down $700 on the season. Abysmal.
So, yeah. Well, just stay positive, Mick. You're doing all right.
So
just stay okay.
Last week we were sitting here and I said, there are going to be some shootouts. I put some shootouts together. I parlayed some overtimes together because I had that feeling. It was just going to be that kind of a night. And I said, something's going to be in there. And I promised you, and I went back and I listened and I said, wow, I was almost right. I just picked the wrong ones. So last week I've got it up here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10 games were overtime affairs. If you would have cashed in, you would have been huge if you would have done that. So some people stupidly put the Penguins and the Canucks on their parlay tickets. So they did not win, and they lost. But other than that, man, that was great. Grant, did you capitalize on any of those?
You know what hurts the most, Mick, is that you scratched Toronto, Minnesota off your overtime list, and you put Vancouver on.
Nope. Pittsburgh, Vancouver was the constant. I took Toronto and put the Red Wings on. So it was a lateral. I moved from an overtime so it didn't hurt that badly. Yes, it was the other way around.
Okay.
I don't know if I would have been here this week. So
you know what? I actually took some of our advice, and I both online and otherwise, like I did a combination sports select ticket for those Western Canadian gamblers. Last week was a good week for Grant White, and when as soon as you scratched Toronto off, I was like, I put Toronto on all my lists.
Yeah, smart.
But again, no hurt to you because you did put the Red Wings on. The one game I had scratched Montreal Nashville off as my overtime game, and I put in Buffalo Carolina, so that cost me that goddamn attractive plus 420. Anyways, I ended up winning my 2 money line picks. Both those games ended up going to overtime though, so it could have been a lot more profitable than it was, either in any circumstance, but still happy to walk away with a little bit of money. Went 2 for 3. Both money line picks I think were short favorites, so or maybe even one was an underdog. So anyways, up again a little bit. I think I put $40 in my pocket, something like that. Altogether not a bad week, I would say. But I'm looking for more shenanigans this week. I've got 4 picks. My usual, I know that typically I go with 3, but I have 4 picks today. Mixing it up, threw an over-under in there just for good measure. Otherwise, still money line and shootout. Mick, how many picks do you have?
I have 3. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
How do we do this every time? All right, I'll go first. I'm going to start with the total. Over 6, plus 100, Philadelphia at Arizona. I don't know where they think defense is coming from in this game, but it's definitely not going to be on Philadelphia's end. Philadelphia has a terrible track record. When I looked into them, it was either yesterday or Thursday, they had allowed 10 or more high danger. 10 is kind of this threshold, like above 10's bad, below 10's good. They've only allowed fewer than 10 high danger scoring chances twice in like 26 games this season. So Philadelphia does not like defense. I don't know if that's going to change under the new regime, but I don't expect it. I think they're on, if it's not the second night. Did they play last night? Are they doing second night of back-to-back tonight?
Let's see.
Yes.
The Coyotes played last night as well, and the Flyers won last night against the Kings.
Yeah.
The Kings? The Knights? All right, cool. Well, I stopped paying attention, so that's exciting.
Oh, that was yeah. Wait, why can't I see Philadelphia here? Oh, yeah, there it is. 4-3 over the Knights. Yeah. Stupid. I was looking for LA. Should have been looking for Philly. Anyway, going to get another high-scoring game. Right. Plus 100 over 6, $25. I split it evenly, $25 on all my picks if I forget to say it.
Okay, nice. I'm going to do 25 on my first 2, 50 on my second one, and that's where the money is coming from. So, first pick, I'm going to take, let's go. The Islanders are playing a home game against New Jersey. It just sounds boring. You know, you got, hello, puppy. We got Islanders, we got the Devils. They suck. I don't know where I'm going with this. Overtime at plus 310, $25. I don't know. I think we're going to see some overtimes again. I think it's a trend. I know we missed this once in university where we were sitting there and it was Thursday nights with shootout nights, and we said we should get on this, we should get on this, we should get on this. And after 3 weeks, we finally went and did it, and it was done. We lost that magic moment. I think we're still in that little bit of overtime magic. So again, we're going to try and I'm just going to splatter the board with some overtimes, see what happens. So I think Islanders, Jersey. Let's see it.
I could see that happening. Second night of back-to-back for Jersey. Intra-divisional game. I could see it. But I'm going to lead off with, or maybe bat second with my Montreal Canadiens money line pick, plus 230. St. Louis does not deserve this betting price, and the money keeps coming in on them for some reason. I'm looking at their game scores. They have outplayed one of their past 5 opponents with their game scores. Their expected goals for percentage in the 30s for 2 of them, 20 they put up a 29.8% expected goals for percentage against the Panthers the other night. So all things considered, St. Louis does not deserve the betting price and confidence that they have in the betting market. I'm going to take Montreal plus 230.
Nice. All right. For myself, my second overtime, we did allude to it. Gritty, hard-nosed defensive teams that have that je ne sais quoi of asshole on their starting lines. I like me a Boston. I like me a Calgary. I like me a overtime.
Is this Bergeron? Maybe?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going with that. As like, there's a Bergeron, there's a...
You know what? I hope Bergeron sounds like
Pasternak.
that.
You know what I was doing? I was doing my David Pasternak, my pasta. My pasta! Hey, the Italian boy.
The old pasta trick. I like it. Well, I am also going on...
Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, what was the line there? 310 overtime, another $25. Oh, sorry, 305.
That's okay. I
should
like
have
that.
them together. Damn it, what was I thinking?
Well, this is how Mick loses money every week. Parlay. I was thinking about this as you were talking about things. It's like second night of a back-to-back for Washington. I could see this going to overtime, but instead, I'm probably going to regret this. It's probably going to go to overtime, or Washington's just going to mop the floor with the Sabres tonight. But Buffalo plus 190. Washington, again, is a team that is overachieving relative to their metrics, and I don't think that they're as good as we've seen them be. I could see them falling flat on their face both nights in a row. Buffalo, say, second night of back-to-back after getting, knocked off by Pittsburgh last night. Buffalo plus 190. I kind of want to do an overtime bet, but I'll leave it. Buffalo money line, $25 to win $47.50.
All right. I'm going to go against you for the first time, which is not a bad sign. Maybe that shows good things for me. I got a 4-team parlay. So I'm going to take the Washington Capitals. They both played last night. I think the Sabres just they suck. That's my logic. But they'll probably win, so good job. I'm going to take the Toronto Maple Leafs. I'm going to take the Columbus Blue Jackets. Maybe that's the poor spot in this parlay. I'm not sure. Over the Seattle Kraken. The Kraken, they just don't really have that buzz, They don't have the luster. Columbus also sucks. I don't know what I'm thinking with that one. And I'm going to take the Boston Bruins. Road Dogs. The Flames, granted they're playing well. I don't think the Bruins are that far off. So with a little bit of plus money on the road. Parlay them all together, though. You get plus 1,003 odds. I thought, hey, that's pretty good. I was going to just throw everything I had at it. But instead, I was a little bit more interesting, a little bit more evasive. $50 to win $501. That's the Christmas gift I need, is a little bit of 4-team parlay to hit to make me feel good about myself.
The Road Dog Boston Bruins. You know what? I think the one thing that's going to come back to haunt you is the Seattle pick. Don't take my advice for it. Stay with what you got. Seattle's been good at home ice, and Columbus has been shit everywhere they go. But anyways, best of luck to you. I got one last pick. It's my glamour pick, my overtime wager. I know that I said I was expecting things from offensive things from the San Jose Sharks, and I do stand by that. I think that they're going to score some goals. But I also think the Dallas Stars are going to keep pace. And my concern always with a backup goalie, I don't know if Reimer's playing tonight. I haven't looked at starting goaltenders. But the last few occasions, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bet on San Jose. And then I look at starting goalies mid-afternoon, and Reimer's not starting. I haven't had the time or energy to look into why Reimer's not starting, but it hasn't been Reimer. Reimer's been Aiden Hill. If Aiden Hill's starting, this game's going to overtime.
I see James Reimer as expected.
Oh, you know what? This is a good time to just get caught up on James Reimer, because I don't know why Aiden Hill's been playing these games.
Yeah. Versus Braden Holtby.
You know what? That's not going to dissuade me. I am sticking with plus 300 that the Stars and Sharks goes to overtime.
Nice. All right. I like it. So, again, I think there's some overtime magic in the air. Can we hit a couple? I think so. I think it's that we're going to do it. We're going to learn from our past mistakes, and we're going to get there. So,
I just have a feeling it's going to be a goofy night. That's kind of why I was like Sabres, Montreal. I don't know why, but it just feels like, that inkling you had last week, inkling you had last week about overtimes.
I tinkle every day.
What I'm getting today about, like just goofy nonsense in the NHL. I hope so. Anyways, I love a good dog showing.
Yeah, nice. So that's it. So now you've won some money, playing both FanDuel as well as gambling in real life. You got caught up on all the sports. So what's left to do than to watch Grant win some cards, maybe? I didn't come up with a trivia game. So, I don't know. Let's try let's see. Went to NHL.com quizzes. Do you want to do the Alexander Ovechkin trivia? How about the All-Star quiz? How about the All-Star Game MVP quiz?
Yeah, I don't know anything about the All-Star game. I also probably don't know that much about Ovechkin, but let's do Ovechkin.
All right, we're going to do Ovechkin. 8 questions. How cute. We'll see what happens. We'll see how Grant does on this. I will be your quiz master. Are you ready for this quiz? We sure are. Oh, my goodness. How are you going to get this? So, Ovechkin was drafted first overall in 2004. Who was selected second?
Oh, man.
Okay.
I just about stumbled. Evgeny Malkin.
I was going to say, we have, you don't want to go with Bobby Ryan? How about Blake Wheeler or Andrew Ladd?
No, it's Evgeny Malkin.
All right. So in what year did Ovechkin score this incredible goal? And it is, in fact, his sliding on the back Cujo goal.
Against the Arizona Coyotes. Was that 2006?
I don't know. It's 05, 6, 7, or 8.
It's 6.
Right.
Whatever the 6th one is. I think it was 2006.
2006. All right. Next. Ovechkin has the most points among Russian-born players in NHL history. Who ranks second? That's not an Ovechkin question whatsoever. Sergei Fedorov, Pavel Datsyuk.
It's Pavel Bure.
Pavel Bure or Ilya Kovalchuk. All right. Well, the fact that you got it before I read it is probably a good sign. Which goaltender did Alexander Ovechkin beat for his 500th NHL goal?
Ooh.
Craig Anderson, Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar, Mike Condon, or Robin Lehner?
I don't know why they would put two Ottawa Senators goalies there.
Mike Condon, was he there too?
Yeah, he was. That's got to be directing you towards Ottawa. I'm going to say the Hamburglar. Let's go Andrew Hammond. I don't know that at all, but...
All right. How many goals did Ovechkin score in the 2018 Stanley Cup Finals?
Just the finals?
That's what it says. So we have 2, 3, 4, or 5.
Oh, man. I'm just going to take a stab at that. I can't even cycle back to that. 4.
All right, 4. Who did Ovechkin hand the Stanley Cup to after winning in 2018? So we have Backstrom, Oshie, Orpix, or Jay Beagle.
I think it was TJ Oshie. I don't know why I have TJ Oshie in my mind.
Yeah, all right. Let's go with that. Play the video for the answer. But I just want to go next. All right. So how many goals or how many 40-goal seasons does Ovechkin have in his NHL career? 9, 10, 11, or 12?
I know... Oh, man. I'm going to say 11. I don't know if he's got 12. I'll say 11, but I'm sure it's up there.
All right. And the final question. Ovechkin is the second fastest to 700 NHL goals. Who is third? Phil Esposito, Yager, Brett Hull, or Marcel Dion?
How the fuck am I supposed to know that one, Mick? All right, another stab here. Marcel Dion.
Marcel Dion.
I know he started hot.
How did I do? Let's find out. 4 out of 8. Oh, that's not very good. So apparently Bobby Ryan was drafted second after him. No, just kidding. So obviously it was Malkin. It was 2006 was the correct answer. Sergei Fedorov is second. So Andrew Hammond was the goalie, in fact, that he did beat. He handed it to... Scored 3 goals, so Grant was right on that one. He handed it to Nicholas Backstrom.
Shit, hey?
Ovechkin has 11 40-goal seasons. That's great. And Brett Hull was the answer. So there you go. So you got 4 correct answers. I don't even know what to do. Sometimes I go and buy cards because I'm a child. But like, what do we got for you today? 4. I feel like 4 shouldn't get you really anything that great. Let's maybe Upper Deck Extended Series 2. That 4.
Did you make it through all the Timmy's cards already?
I still have Tim Hortons cards, so I still have 5 packs of Tim Hortons cards. We could do this. I still have a box of like blasters, Upper Decks, Extended Series, and I bought these today, and these are just like Upper Decks. Looks like they're Series 2, and there's like a Parkhurst, so it's like a lesser brand in the back or something like that. What do you want to open?
I don't know. I don't think I earned the best pack, so give me the worst pack.
Give you the worst pack. I don't know what to do with this one. Let's do... Let's save the Timmies. Let's do... Yeah, you get the worst pack. I'll take the good pack, and we'll save this one. That makes sense. So, Parkhurst it is.
I fucking hate Parkhurst.
Parkhurst. I hate Parkhurst. Oh, what is this? Oh, there's a random card inside. Wow. It's a Yevgeny Dadonov.
Which Yevgeny Dadonov? In a Vegas Knights jersey?
Don Russ. He's a Florida Panther.
Florida Panther jersey.
Wait, no, it's not. It's Yevgeny Davidov. It's like an
Davidov?
It's like a 90. It's like a 93 card.
Huh.
All right. Well, we'll just add that to Grant's stack, and hopefully you won $1 million. Good job, Grant.
I'm gonna look into this Davidov character.
Davy. So Davy Dov. Davidov. Sure, why not? All right. So Power Curse. Here we go. See how Grant did. We start off with a Paul Stastny.
Okay.
All right. Next, it looks like you have a Chris Kreider. All right.
I fucking hate Chris Kreider.
You're gonna really love this next guy then, because you got Torrey Krug coming your way.
Is that a Bruins jersey, Torrey Krug?
It is a Bruins jersey. Nice. Jonathan Huberdeau.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah, all right. We got a rookie card. We got Max Veronia. The Senators. Rookie phenom. We got a Pavel Datsyuk. Or Joe Pavelski.
Man, that could have went one of two directions.
Oh, you got future. Look at that, future Edmonton Oiler goalie Matt Murray. It's a shiny hollow card.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Look at that. And Chris Letang. Is that the last one? No, I don't know why I didn't show Chris Letang. I showed every other card, but I'm like, Chris Letang, suck.
Boo.
Thomas Hertl. Zach Werenski. And we're back to the top. So there you go. So there's your stack. So again, nothing great. I mean, I guess you could have got like a cool hollow card or something like that, but I feel like Matt Murray is really not tipping the scales anywhere right now. So,
but maybe he'll fall so far into obscurity where it's like kind of like Conker's Bad Fur Day, like just it's so bad that everybody wants to have it because it's bad. So I'm hoping for that.
I was thinking about just how terrible Jonas Johansson was and how he cost me everything. And I spent a lot of time like walking sadly in the park thinking about him this week. And I've come to I kind of feel like the Oilers and the Avalanche are very similar built teams. They have this really strong offensive cores that have just terrible goaltending. And maybe you give the edge like slightly, maybe a lot to the Avalanche on defense. But I feel like they're similar makeups. Like I don't know if McKinnon and say Landeskog are as great as Draisaitl and McDavid, obviously, but like the Avalanche have that slight edge on defense. But they both are these teams that are kind of squandering this great talent because they can't find a stupid goalie.
You know what's crazy? So I looked into the Colorado Avalanche's farm system yesterday. They have a tremendous amount of talent on their AHL team, and that's included in net. They still have Pavel Francouz. I don't know why Pavel Francouz is not the backup goaltender over Jonas Johansson, because like. When I think about when I looked at their metrics, I was like, why? Why is Pavel Francouz not playing with you guys? Because it makes absolutely no sense. He's got like a 930, maybe it was 929 save percentage in the AHL.
Seems like one of the great, just one of those great mysteries, right? So, anyways, for myself, I opened up Upper Deck Series 2 or something like that, a pack. I don't know why these were just left randomly by the tills at Walmart, basically for me to buy them. So, yay. I don't even know how much I spent on them, because I don't think they're worth really much. I got a Jack Hughes.
Is it a rookie Jack Hughes?
It's not a rookie Jack Hughes. Yeah. Yeah, because it should say, like, rookie on it. It doesn't. So, that's fine. I got a Brandon Rust. You don't even get to look at him. Hadobin. Shishkevich. I got a Upper Deck Canvas John Gibson. It's kind of a cool card, I guess.
That might be worth something.
I got a Carter Roney, Brandon Montador, and a Damian Sverson. So
one of these days it's gonna be a deteriorating game, and that is you're gonna have to pronounce a name. If you pronounce it incorrectly, you have to take a shot, and then you have to get through. I'm gonna lay out 100 cards, and you have to get through all 100 cards. But when it's wrong, you got to do a shot. I have a feeling you'd be dead around card 60.
Yeah, that's fair. I have this weird theory, or not a theory, like as an interview tactic. If I was ever to hire someone or look at someone, I would give them a deck of cards and say, like, organize them per team, right? So give them like 100 cards and see how do they organize it, right? So I mean, like, maybe do like baseball, and you could give them a grid, like, here's all the baseball teams by divisions, now organize these cards, right? And you could tell a lot, because, like, do the people kind of follow the grid that you provide so they can follow instructions, right? They can follow templates pretty well. Do they just kind of like randomly go as fast as they can, make mistakes? Do they take their time, right? So it's kind of that attention to detail aspect of it. You're watching how their brain kind of interacts with these things they may have never seen. Maybe they don't know anything about baseball or something, right? So watching them kind of trying to make sense of this organization, I think would tell a lot about that. So there you go. You can steal that. My cool interview technique that lets you buy cards.
I was going to say exactly that, Mick. And that is, you basically just want to come up with a consulting business to somehow write off buying cards. But I think you're on the right track. Human resource Mick would probably be the best Mick.
It can't be the worst one. So
definitely not the worst one.
Definitely not the worst one. So cool. So with that, I think that's everything, right, Grant?
Right. Wrong, Mick.
Oh my
wrong.
Gosh. I was so wrong.
You wouldn't have a Canada Puck podcast without our Babe of the Week. I can't remember if I've used this one before. So correct me if I'm wrong. Or let me know if I've already said these words to you, and we will find a new one. Kitty Darlin. Does that sound familiar?
No.
What? Kitty Darlin. And if your brain immediately went to call me cat, call me kitty cat, then we're going to be good friends, whoever it is that's listening to this. But Miss Kitty Darlin, she's not scared about being cold, I'll say that.
Yeah, she's outside a lot in, like, not a lot of clothes, so good for her. I mean, it looks like she lives in kind of a tropical location, so.
Anyways, Kitty Darlin, and the two garments of clothes she always wear is our Babe of the Week. Schwing!
Schwing! Nice. With that wraps up another show here on the Canada Puck Podcast. I might be busy next week, but we'll talk. Maybe we can do, I don't know, like a Friday night or something like that to try and get you some content. Maybe I'll wrangle Grant into coming sitting at a table at a card show with me or something like that.
Oh, man. Well, there's an endless options there. I don't know why that didn't compute properly. There's an endless amount of options there. So,
and if I kick this up next week, and then it's Christmas, so this might be our last show of the year. We'll try and get you something before the end of the year, before we probably see you in like January. Let's say that maybe the 1st, the 8th, and come back.
I feel like one of those things, like, we should just have a year-end wrap-up where we just get blind drunk and reminisce. I feel like if we could even do it by like a fireplace, I think that would elevate us to like almost broadcast worthy.
Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm off between the 27th and 31st, so that's definitely a possibility. We could get drunk and make something of a show. So you might get a year-end kind of like recap of what was going on. We might drink a little bit. An actual show? We'll see. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Cool. So there you go. So we're not going to leave you guys with, oh, that was too much. And I mean, you got to see such sweet cards being opened. Maybe I'll like open up some good cards on our drunk show.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, nice. Okay, so with that, now that we've teased what's coming up, do we say goodbye?
Yep, that's it. Party on, Mick.
Party on, Grant.
See everybody next week.